Honorable greetings and blissful evening to you, my fellow royals of Alubera, and also my fellow royals of Carib, which is Tobago and Trinidad. It is yours truly for those who are not affiliated with me as yet. Highest Imperial Majesty, Goddess MD Trinity L, who is Carib Queen, Goddess Clan Mother, Sovereign Diplomat of the Royal Family of Alubera, and also beneficiary and trustee of Tanika Maha'Bal. Alright, so just another quick greeting to you, and I'm just going to say for a little bit, there are persons who have been asking me for some time now regarding my whole involvement around political spaces from let's say 2020 till 2022, and still being former member of the village councils and so on. All right, so with all that has been occurring, persons are asking, and just seeking information, in that retrospect. There are also persons who have been interested in me even representing, community as well too, as a representative for the community as a young being. I know there are persons who are actually aware of me doing screening back in 2022. I did a screening to represent my community, not to compete against the being who was representing the community at present. And however, it has been my approach to really show, well, hey, there's someone who is younger and willing in ambition to continue to rise in our growth and support of legitimate justice and honor out of the whole shackles of enslavement and into liberated freedom. All right, so this was me. I have been on the island Tobago, Alubera, in 2020, and during that time frame from 2020 2021, I donated energies towards political campaigns. I campaigned with specific political party and their member and so on, 2021 2022, and then in 2023 I've more or less focused on my whole indigenous and native movement as the royal being, as the royal heir of the land and soil, in my energy, essence, grace, as goddess, as queen. All right, and in this year continued in that indigenous approach in terms of my sovereign diplomacy. Yet there have been persons asking us, because the time is drawing near, at some point there would be another electoral season, and with that occurring, my whole stance and operations with being the indigenous being, meaning representing myself in that republic as the republic, the sovereign, the lineage and blood of the first peoples, as I am of the DNA of the Carib. I am Carib in living form as well too. My ancestors as well were the Caribs as well too, and they have been living on islands throughout the entire Caribbean line chain. All right, so it's not just in one area perspective, but in a vast majority of lands my lineage is tied to. All right, and it has been one of the most beautiful things to really realize and know of when it comes to who I am in identity and operations of such. All right, I am also in the know-how of who I am, and this self-realization is what is actually aiding me to better determine myself and better operate in my own self-governance and self-autonomy. So with regard to answering the questions of whether or not I would be, more or less being in sync with any parties and such like that, I am the indigenous being who would be actually harmonizing with fellow royals who are actually in synchronity of the assignment that is needed to be fulfilled for a healthier and better uplifting humanity. So once it makes sense in that sensibility, let's say as in that healing grace of nurturing of actually revealing the truth and not out there to just mama guy the people, as you know, as it will be occurring for many years now. I am where it makes sense, and as I have written in my notice to the natives, to the royals of Alubera and Kairiani, in my royal notice, it is written that I am also lobbying for the indigenous beings to also have that space in governance and government. So at some point I shall become the first female, the first woman, as a matter of fact, let me correct myself, the first woman chief secretary of Alubera, Tobago. It may be today, maybe tomorrow, but in that motion of operations and aspirations, I am not the one to be ungrateful. I'm not the being to be able to crucify my own just to make myself look good. I'm not the one to fabricate a story just to make myself look good either. All right, so in these retrospect and circumstances, there are beings who have known of my contributions for the past years that I have returned to my beautiful island of birth, my land of birth. And there are also others who are also not familiar with who I am, yet they still try to, somewhat cross the line. Nonetheless, it's typical beings at some points, they tend to be a bit, let me say, a little bit shaky, but it's okay. I am one to be able to tolerate many things, right? When it comes to the actual assignment of restoring a healthier, self-sufficient community, or rather humanity, this is where I'll be standing in full support of such. All right, and I also do really share much gratitude to a fellow royal goddess as well too, who has been doing a great deal of things. And this is not me speaking in any bias or in any bit of favoritism, more or less. No, it's nothing of that sort. Rather, the observation and the admiration of realizing that, hey, where have you been all along? As in, where have you been? This is what we need, as in the restoration of a matriarch. I need my fellow mothers, my fellow queens, my fellow goddesses to get to this point and reason of life where we are the ones taking charge of our crowns. We are not the ones crucifying each other out of the low vibration frequencies of envy, jealousy, intimidation, and these things that is like programmed. It is a programming of learned behavior. And I know that we can let go of this program simple as if we're deleting pictures from a phone or deleting an app from a phone or a computer. It's the same way with certain energy vibration frequencies. We are able to do just as much as well too. So, as I always say, it's always love, peace, love and honor to every single being, regardless of how good or how bad you choose to treat me. I would always serve love, injustice, and honor as the royal being. Yet when there is a time where I need to address in terms of the boundary, I will do such as well too, respectfully and honorably. So this is just it. I will be in operations as an indigenous being representing self in sovereignty for the Republic, as I am the Republic, and also my tribe, my clan, the indigenous people, the first peoples, and harmonize with with the entity that is actually speaking and operating in truth, in justice, and honor. All right, so much love, much appreciation, fellow royal folks. Done though.